Arrests in Magna. I'm Jordan Tracy, bringing you breaking news live tonight here in Magna. I am along 85th West, right outside of Magna Main Street, where last night 2 men were arrested and at least 1 has been formally charged with alleged terror threats. I want to show you the video from last night. ABC4 was the only crew on scene to give you a look of the FBI serving a sealed search warrant. Now, charging documents say that back on the 12th, an explosive device was found under a news vehicle, and their investigation led them here to a home in Magna last night where they carried out that search warrant, and they found more devices. They thought them to be hoaxes, but the suspects telling them in interviews that they were real, so they had to evacuate nearby homes. We're told 58-year-old Adib Nasir was arrested and charged with weapons of mass destruction and threats of terrorism, among other charges. A second man, Adil, was also mentioned but not formally charged. We have not found those charging documents for Adil as of yet, but we're continuing to follow him, believed to have similar charges as Adib. Now, police are saying that their alleged actions created a significant risk to, quote, mass casualties, and that's what led them here to this neighborhood that is quiet now. But that wasn't the case late last night into early this morning. We were talking to neighbors, myself and our photojournalist Dennis Dolan, only ones on scene talking to neighbors, and they say they were awoken by a flashbang and then seeing the FBI agents move into this home, and they were woken up, had to leave. Some of them had to leave, some of them witnessing it from their front yard. And I want to show you this house here. Take a look. Dennis is going to zoom in here. There's some concerning things when you look at this house. A flag in the front porch area that says, "Is he dead yet?" Also, a flagpole that has a flag that says, "We the people," pretty normal, but the American flag turned upside down. And those are some of the things that we've discovered today as we came into this neighborhood talking to neighbors about their experiences. And of course, a scary thing to hear all of this happening right in their front yard, having to leave their homes and then finding out there could have been explosives in those homes. So I spoke to one of the neighbors who witnessed all of this unfold in her front yard. Here's what she had to say.
Well, I was just inside watching movies and then I heard it, and at first I thought like a truck went through my house or something, so I came out to see what it was, and then I was even more shocked to see like the Bearcat and all the cop cars, and I was just, I think I was shocked. That's the only word I can use to describe it. I just seen them pulling the guys out, and it looked like it wasn't going very nicely, so they instructed me to go back inside until everything had calmed down. See this stuff on the news all the time, but you never expect it to be in your front yard, you know? I don't, yeah, it's shocking. Who knows if my whole neighborhood could have, you know, been blown up. So I'm just shocked and very thankful that they were able to, you know, get it taken care of in time.
Now, obviously, something unexpected to see happen in your neighborhood. You heard the neighbor there saying that it's something that they see on the news all the time, but couldn't imagine it happened here in this quiet neighborhood in Magna, again on 85th West, right off the Magna Main Street. It's really close to the Welcome to Magna sign. And last night we saw all of these FBI agents all over the neighborhood, local police causing that barricade down at the front of the entrance. And right now you wouldn't have noticed that anything had happened last night. It's very quiet. Up the street you can hear kids playing, people have their sprinklers on, some dogs have been barking. So you wouldn't have expected anything like this happening just a few hours ago last night. Let's bring in Sarah Murphy, who is in studio for us tonight. And again, Sarah, we're hearing serious charges of terroristic threats for Adib Nasir, 58-year-old, who lives in this house allegedly, and possibly a second suspect. We're still waiting to see when formal charges for Adil could be filed, if they are filed. But then again, hearing that this initial investigation started with finding a device on a news vehicle. Obviously, we can admit that hits a little close to home for all of us here at ABC4. So again, scary events to be happening right in our backyard, Sarah.
A busy 24 hours, it sounds like, in that Magna neighborhood. Jordan, while I have you, you obviously spoke with neighbors. We heard a little bit from her. Did neighbors tell you anything about this suspect, about Nasir? What kind of neighbor was he? What kind of man has he been?
Yes, Sarah, it's been kind of interesting. We've talked to a few neighbors here, some of them saying that they didn't know him personally, just a small few interactions. The neighbor we actually spoke with that you saw said that she wouldn't have suspected anything out of Nasir. In fact, any interaction that she had, she didn't want to say just normal, but kind of just an average interaction. Some of the people we talked to last night and caught up again with today said that they had interacted plenty and thought he was friendly and would never have expected, and again, never expect to see him after these charges. But another interesting fact, one of the neighbors here was telling us off camera, they didn't want to speak to us on camera, but said that they had a run-in with Nasir before and actually had to call the police after an interaction where they thought they were shining a laser into their apartment, and actually had police come out and address that issue. So again, you think some people, your neighbors, and you might have no idea what could be going inside of a home, Sarah.
Our Jordan Tracy live in Magna. Obviously a mix of opinions from neighbors. We will for sure be keeping a close eye on this developing situation there. Jordan, thank you very much.